All right, any others? Any other up?
I'll say newish, second
Okay.
meeting, so I was here last month. Chad N0WKP.
Okay, very good, Chad. Welcome back. And any upgrades for anybody?
I just did my general 2 weeks ago.
All right. All right. We're going to start off with leadership introductions. So I'll start with me. I'm Scott, NA0MT, and I'm one of the directors at large. And we'll catch Randy.
I'm Randy, K0TNG,
The other
another director.
And Dan will be here shortly, our president. So we'll catch Dan once he gets in. He's getting off of work, getting down here. And we've got Paul.
Hey, thanks, Scott.
Oh, boy.
He's not going to just say hi and wave.
So I don't really have too much to say because we're just a little bit behind schedule, but I want to welcome everybody here in person. Those of you here in person, I want to welcome everybody on our Facebook channel live as well. We have some people there, so good turnout. We're coming into the season. We have so many activities coming up this month and especially in June. Our premier activity is our field day. Who's coming to field day this year? Excellent. Remember, you don't have to come up and camp. If you want to just come up for the day, on Saturday, that'd be your day. Okay, Sunday, we're out of there by noon. And if you want to come up on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, some of us will be there. Okay? So if you can't make it Saturday, but you can come up Friday, come on up. Looking forward to field day this year. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. I have it on good authority that it's not going to snow this year.
It didn't snow last year.
Yeah, we're seeing, right?
Well,
It just rained a little.
yeah, right. So maybe we're due for snow. I don't know, but so try to get that on your calendar. We also have Parker Days coming up, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. But again, I want to welcome everybody and thank you all for being here tonight.
Very good. Thanks, Paul. I'll go over to Jeff.
Jeff Francis, N0GQ, and I'm our CTO.
And Robert.
I'm Robert, A0CA, treasurer and shirt wrangler.
And if you haven't noticed, the shirts did come in that were on the last order. So if you got an order in, take a look over at the table for your name tag there and grab your shirt. And then we've got Brad.
Brad, AB4BA, I'm the board chair.
Also known as the cat herder.
Yes. Yeah,
Keeps us between the fence posts. Very good. Oh yes, and we got Brian.
I'm Brian, and hey, wait a minute, what am I?
Who are you?
That's what happens when you change your call sign.
Yeah, I'm Brian, WA0R, I'm the secretary.
All right, very good. And this last weekend, we did have a portable ops deployment to Castlewood Canyon. Show of hands for to show who was there. Yeah, we had a pretty good turnout there. You guys missed a good one at north end of Castlewood Canyon. I'm going to bring Paul up, and we can explain the Hawaiian shirts you're seeing.
Well, as you all know, Jeff Karpinski, he goes back to the beginning of the club pretty much. And somebody said that his fingerprints are on everything. And that's true. All the all-star systems and the repeaters and many, many other things. And you may not know Jeff by Jeff, maybe you know him by AB0 Lima. But Jeff passed away here a couple weeks ago. So his favorite attire for field day was Hawaiian shirts and a hat very similar to what Brian's wearing tonight. Brian, do you want to? So we threw on some Hawaiian shirts, but this is just kind of a preview. Those of you that are coming up for field day for dinner Saturday night, we would ask you to wear Hawaiian shirts. We're going to call this field day the AB0 Lima Memorial Field Day. And how many knew Jeff? pretty much everyone. So anyway, it's a huge loss. Jeff did move to North Carolina in September, I believe. He and Sally, and so I think Sally's going to stay out there. She's wanted to live by the ocean for a long time, and that was kind of why they moved out. So been in touch with her a few times, and she's doing very well.
Very well.
Very well. So one of the things Jeff asked, he wanted his ashes to go up in a rocket. And we have a couple of club members that do, I think model rocketry is probably not the correct term, because these rockets that they shoot off are registered with alcohol, tobacco, and firearms, and they're big and they're tall, and they go up to 20,000 feet or whatever. So the memorial service for Jeff is going to be at one of these launches here in Colorado, hopefully in July, but maybe later on. So we'll let everybody know when that's going to be, and Sally's really excited about it.
Yes.
That was his request, was to go up in a rocket. So she's got the ashes and she's ready to go, and we're working with Brent and another friend of Jeff's in Arizona. They're working together, I should say, to make all that happen. So anyway, that's where we're at. If we could just take a moment of silence for Jeff. Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. All right, we're going to turn it over to Randy for his presentation this evening. It's all yours, Randy.
Okay, thanks.
You want this? Sure.
Hear me all right? Everybody on YouTube hear me? Or wherever we're on, Google, whatever. Okay. Who knows what a fox hunt is? Okay. Who doesn't
married,
know what a fox
Randy.
hunt is?
I'm married.
Oh, yeah, that too. Who doesn't know what a fox hunt is? Who's ever participated in a fox hunt? Okay, so we got some. So I guess this video is more for some people that are watching, perhaps. First, I want to apologize. I had to throw this together. My fault. I forgot I had to be a presenter tonight. So I tend to procrastinate sometimes too. So it's we'll drag it out. Okay. Maybe can we turn lights down a little bit so that you get ready? Maybe. No, it's fine if my computer would work. I don't know if you can see security dialogue. Whoops.
Yeah. There you go. Control.
Oh, there we go. All right, fox hunt. So. Okay, so it's introduction to fox hunting, fine art of finding and locating a hidden transceiver. If you wonder what these little lines are around here, that's what it kind of looks like if you put a tracker on somebody that was looking for a fox with their radio at Stan's house.
Except for Cameron's line.
Well, no, we got that one too. See, he's over there.
Remember, Cameron did this for a living. Which he reminded us before the Fox time.
And during.
I still feel miserably.
It's all right, you walked right by it.
I know, like 4 times.
Actually, a lot of people walked right by it, but it was a lot of fun. Actually, it had been hidden inside of a building, just so everybody understands. This was out at Stan's place. And Stan has this huge ranch with some old buildings that are 100 and some years old, some of them. So we stuck the Fox transmitter inside of a old, I don't know, greenhouse? Was that what it was? Something like that. And I put a box on top of it so you couldn't see it, but it was definitely there, and it was sending out the signal, but I don't know. It was kind of funny. All right. Wish we would have had video. Okay, preferred basic equipment is really going to be a handheld VHF, UHF radio, preferably an HT, but not necessarily an HT. There are other ways to go. Yagi antenna for that radio, either VHF or UHF, and some sort of attenuator system, which can be hardware, or it could be something different, and we'll get into that. Also, comfortable shoes, wear a hat, sunglasses, water, snack, or nothing. Depends, it's up to you, whatever you want to do, just be comfortable. All right, bare minimum equipment needed. Everybody knows what that is. It's your $19 radio, Baofeng. That's the bare minimum equipment needed. Or you can use other radios too. I just threw in a bunch of HTs there, as well as an 818, which is battery powered, and I think the G90 is also, isn't it? Who has a G90? Okay, is that? Yeah, I thought it had a battery built into it.
No.
Oh, my mistake, it's the other one. All right, here, let me change that while we're talking. But at any rate, anything that's going to receive VHF and UHF. Oh, yeah, see, I screwed that up all the way around. Antennas, essentially any Yagi or loop antenna, or even a rubber ducky. As you'll see there, Ben is using, is Ben here tonight? Oh, that's good. He's using a tape measure antenna that was built here by the club. Was that last year? Losing track of time. The lady on the right, I have no idea who she is. She was just on YouTube, or on Google with her loop antenna. And it appears as though she attached her her Baofeng to it. I think that's what it is, isn't it? I'm looking at a really little picture. And of course the rubber ducky. Don't use this one though. Use the one on your radio. That one won't work very well. Attenuators. There are a lot of different ways to go here. And I'll start from the left to the right, since everything we deal with is Chinese equipment anymore, so we'll go from the left to the right. That's just preset commercial attenuator, probably maybe 3 dB, something like that. And I think they come, or you can stack them together if you wanted to. That particular one is a end connector, but I just used it for display purposes. You could actually get one with BNC and connect that way. Then there are 3 boxes here that have circuits inside of them. One is a dial unit that just goes between your antenna and your radio. The next one is that same similar type dial that you mount it right on your antenna if you're using a Yagi or whatever you're using. The last one is push buttons, and I'm guessing just you could probably, I don't think there's any switching in there other than that, so maybe they're just tied into the main. So every time you push it, they're going to have a different set of resistors in there. Some basic attenuator circuits. This is probably the simplest. And this one would be a lot more involved, since it involves a transistor and is powered by 9 volts. As for the Fox, the actual Fox that you're looking for can be really is only a UHF, VHF transmitter of some sort, an HT, in some sort of an enclosure. And I just included some photos here. I have one over there, the one that I use, which is inside of a plastic ammo can. And it's, you can take a look at that later if you want. It's nothing but a Baofeng with an Arduino circuit that does the Morse code identification. They also make some others. This is incredibly small. What are we talking, 1.5 inches for an SD card? The actual Fox, obviously, I don't have to talk about that. Hopefully you don't run into any when you're out there. I have foxes at my house, and they seem to be scared of everything, including the cats. We have this one stray cat that visits the house all the time, and he basically chases the fox away. So I guess I always thought they'd just, grab hold and chow down, but not, I guess not. At any rate, some other examples here in waterproof cans, and of course a metal can, and then there's this micro Fox, a little bit bigger than the micro Fox, but to just give you a brief idea of what this looks like. My setup is essentially like this. You have a radio. I have a separate battery to run the Arduino, and then this is tied in between the two. This looks much nicer than mine if you open it up and look at it. And it still works, even after it got dropped at the last place. All right. So what is fox hunting all about? It's all about triangulation, essentially, and signal strength, which I didn't include in there. But obviously, if you're by yourself, you will be moving your antenna back and forth to try to get the strongest signal, depending upon how far away you are. That particular transmitter there is going into a dummy load, but it still will go about 1/4 mile, maybe 1/2 mile, even though it's on a dummy load and it's set on 1 watt. So at any rate, as you get closer, it's going to, the signal is going to get louder, and you're going to run into a situation where you need the attenuator in order to knock your signal down a certain amount. And I threw something in here on the frequencies. And we do have a video to watch. So I'm not as boring as, or I am more boring than the video is going to be. All right. And guess what? It's not going to work. Stand by for a minute. Yeah, I may have to do that. Or maybe not. Okay, let's see if this will work.
Here it is, the Vanish holster, the world's most comfortable holster. One
we
thing to
could
know
care
is you
less
don't need a
about
belt
that.
with the Vanish holster because it's got one built in. So go ahead and wear this in your business suit, a bathing suit, or your...
What's up, guys? We're out here in Washington Pacific Beach doing a little fox hunting. Somewhere in this area are 4 different transmitters. So we gotta try and find them. So let's do that. I've never done a fox hunt, so this is kind of neat. We got all these people here. We got some antennas with attenuators and whatnot. So let's get to finding. That's what it sounds like. Hams in action.
Put an eye out with that thing.
It's not me.
It's in Mike's pocket.
Have you found any yet?
No, we're about to find one now.
This is definitely a lot trickier than I had imagined.
Wait for it to...
We may have located one. Right there. There's a whole family of fox hunters here. Are we finding all the foxes?
We got 3 out of 4, so...
Have you really?
Yeah,
I couldn't.
but we have.
I couldn't find anything with the HT, so I gave up.
Arrow's killing it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Where's another one? It may be there somewhere. I feel I have one of those.
A loop?
Yeah.
It's harder than
Oh, I
the
see it.
arrow. The arrow's worth that.
That's easy. You finding anything, Heath?
Yeah, I need to feed in the old attenuation.
Ah.
Too close.
Oh, look at you with the pistol grip there.
I know.
That's pretty slick.
So, to fold in here and then turn this up to max so that I can actually.
Yeah, nice.
I'm not blowing up my S meter.
Very good. Have you found any yet?
No. I was
No?
working very hard.
Oh.
So now.
I'll tell you, anyone driving by must think we're crazy. All these people with these crazy antennas pointing them everywhere.
This actually reminds me of Stan's when
The
we were
heck are they
doing
doing
that
there?
fox.
George, what are they doing?
But I
People are going every direction imaginable.
attenuates too much, even at point blank.
Yeah.
But then this is too much signal, totally
Yeah.
unusable. There's just enough brass on the end of a ballpoint pen. I can hold it there, and
No kidding.
and then my signal meter actually means something.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Learn something new every day. Ballpoint pen. Good, good fox hunting antenna. Find the fox. Are you learning her the way?
She is learning the way.
Good. You excited about amateur radio? Yeah. You getting close? Oh, now everybody's coming over here.
It's time for it to be done.
I have to wait for.
So now that we've gotten our practice in finding the transmitters here, we're gonna go hunt. There's a few that are farther away, so we're gonna go try
that
and
Cameron over
find
there?
at least one. So let's do that.
Yeah,
This is
I thought
Nate.
so.
Hi.
Nate has drawn a strikingly good and accurate map of the neighborhood here. These are the different frequencies of the transmitters, and we're gonna take just an initial bearing here from the house.
My strongest signal's right there.
We're very scientifically calculating the angle here.
Yeah, from our house right there. If this map doesn't make you want to come to Pacific Beach, I don't know what
Yeah,
will.
yeah.
That first transmitter, call this 1. All
right.
So let's do it again for the next one.
All right, so we got all 5 bearings on this beautiful map. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
It's encrypted, so you can't read it.
Yeah, yeah. All right, let's hop in the van and get to finding some transmitters. Tell your story, man.
So we got a bearing on all 5 of them from the backyard here.
Okay.
So my thought from our clearly marked location here, the main lobby, there's a parking lot up here. My thought is go up there, hang out in the parking lot, take another bearing, see which ones we can hear from there, and start drawing messed up lines from there. And then narrow in on these tiny little things that are no larger than that mic.
Yeah.
Plus an antenna. They're they're small.
Piece of cake.
Yeah.
Hey, so check it out. This is the amazing Spy Scope. It is a military-grade monocular that we are giving away today.
We know what kind of stuff you can.
This is our direction finding mobile. All right, go find it. And try and take a bearing for all 5 from here. I don't know if that's the right way to do it or the wrong way to do it, but that's what we're gonna do.
Oh, there goes Cameron over there. Wearing the red jacket.
So we reckon we may have gone a little too far north.
They're all
So
the
we're
same
gonna,
way.
they're all back that way. I don't think they're too far out of the neighborhood. We're only a couple blocks away, so we're gonna head back south and take another measurement and see where we get.
north here.
Well, maybe we're close. Doing a little consulting here. One is still south of here. We're hot on the trail of transmitter number 1. We reckon it's probably that way, where other people are searching for transmitter number 1. Could it be by the utility pole, perhaps?
No.
Or are you still going south?
Still south.
I'm gonna say in that culvert. Busting out some beats, some fat beats.
It's a party transmitter. I'm close enough that it's pegging the meter.
Is the other HT picking it up yet? Well, it's got to be in here, like behind this, I would guess. Is it down here anywhere? Oh yeah, you got it.
So we're on it somewhere.
There she is. Ow. All right.
All right, let's do some more.
That's the first one. 1 down, 4 to go. Look, we're looking for which transmitters now? Number 3 and 4 or something? 3 and 4. They're somewhere in this area. You're not getting a good bearing anymore?
I'm getting it everywhere, and I'm off frequency.
Huh.
So, what do you figure?
Oh, geez.
Canister with the phone number on it would be.
That might be it. We're sitting here, wandering around. Things going off like crazy. I'm literally standing like 2 feet away, like right here. Like, where the heck is it? I'm all down in this culvert and stuff. Boy, that was a tough one. Cool. Well, good. We got number 2, or 3, or whatever number that was. We got a party transmitter. It's loud. The signal is strong with this one. We're in the beautiful downtown Pacific Beach. We've got a gas station and a wacky warehouse. And that's it. There's actually, there's wine tasting here. And they actually have a radio station. Everybody's looking for the same transmitter right now, it looks.
Let's just move the van.
Where could it be in this Pacific Beach State Park? I still don't have it on this.
Let's get the van and go back and get my table that I left there anyway.
Get your what?
I think it's over at their campsite.
We suspect they may have put a fox at our fellow club members' campsite. Think you can out-fox us? My spidey sense is not tingling yet.
You found it.
You got something on you? Do you have it? Do you have it? Are you a transmitter? Did they make you eat the transmitter? Huh? Did they make you eat the transmitter, buddy? Did you eat the transmitter?
I tried not to.
Is it in that coffee?
It was really good, dipped in ranch.
Dipped in ranch. One of you guys sitting on it? I have found the transmitter. So we reckon we lost. I mean, we've been doing this for probably an hour and a half or so, I'd guess now. I have no idea. But we've got, we think 3. So we're gonna find 2 more. We're very close. Very close to transmitter number 4. I think it's behind this sign, but what do I know? I don't see nothing here. I'm getting a really good signal with my antenna, but I'm still not getting a signal without. Still 433-900, right?
Yeah.
Whoa. I think that's 5. we have deduced that it is not in the park. So we are gonna go back north that way. We will find it. All right, we're back downtown by the wacky warehouse. It's somewhere around here. Somewhere, we're getting close. I can sense the radiation in the air. It could just be all the fog. What you getting?
It's standing up.
It's standing up? Oh, but where is it? Maybe that guy's got it. He looks awful suspicious.
So it's over there somewhere, probably next block over.
Well, let's go the next block over. So I've only got like one bar on the HT. I'm looking all over for this thing. It might be in this gazebo. We're getting some pretty strong signals here. I'm gonna bet it's in here. Is it up here anywhere? All right, I'm hearing it without the antenna now, so it's gotta be around here somewhere. I mean, it's got to be here, but I don't see it. There it is. There it is. Right there, you little rascal. Ha! Clever girl.
There's one simple hearing hack anyone
great.
can use to improve their hearing almost overnight. Did you?
Well, he's got to make money somehow.
That's not too bad. Direction finding just with an HT. We're like 2 blocks away from where we parked. You can kind of see where the gas station is. We're down that street. So I walked all the way around the block, but I found it. That's great. All right, so this last one's a pesky little bugger. Drove all the way to the beach. I don't think it's down there, so we're just up here on the corner, and we're gonna get a bearing. I'm not hearing it without my antenna, so we're not that close. But it's around here somewhere. Did you forget how to ham radio since the last time you ham radioed?
It's a skill. It works out well for people.
I bet it's like at that stop sign.
Full quieting into the not repeater.
It's full quieting everywhere.
Yeah. So I can't get a smaller increment to go off frequency to try to hear it because it's just not low enough power.
We'll use my radio.
I think.
Are these increments suitable enough for you? That face is going to tell me yes. The X7R, man, never fails you. The swapping of the radios. It's no Bofang, but it'll do.
Did you just say it right?
Huh?
Did you say it right?
Bofang, Baofang, Bufang, Bufang, Baofang. You want Baofang? Bofang, Baofang, Baofang. Hurry up and do something. Do what?
Make the smaller increment.
I don't know, you made a big face like you wanted to use it a second ago.
Yeah, I was reading wrong.
Jeez. Think it's up there?
Yeah. Oh, it is, definitely. No.
Maybe it's up there in the transformer.
Yeah, let's move out of this awkward spot.
Do you think the fire department would be out of limits?
Yeah, I doubt it would be down there. I wouldn't hide it.
Well, I'm gonna check by this stop sign just because. It's probably not here, but you never know. I do not see a transmitter. So my hunch was wrong. All right, we're in here without the antenna territory. Now, why is somebody calling me? Who calls me? Someone from Detroit. All right, I'm not hearing it anymore. Where did it go? See, there's Casey again. He knows something. He knows too much. The hell is this damn thing? It's got to be in here. I mean, we're pretty close because we're hearing it without an antenna. Well, I'm going to keep going this way. We're looking for the 800 one. It's getting stronger. So you know where this one is that I'm looking for. It's right there. There it is, you son of a bitch. Yeah, baby. Got it. So there we have it, gang. After 5 successful transmitter finds, we are now all professional fox hunters. So if you need any foxes hunted, just email me at k8mrd@icloud.com. And, you know, my fees are reasonable. We start at $500, but we can negotiate if you need to give me more money.
All right. So what did we learn from this exercise?
How to pronounce
So I guess one of the things I've learned doing my job, right? Antennas are either vertically or horizontally polarized. So what is the dB attenuation between those two poles? If you don't have an attenuator, but I have this cool Yagi antenna, our antenna is typically going to be vertically polarized. That's why they're going like this, right? If I flip it this way and make it my antenna horizontally polarized, I've just created a 30 dB attenuator just by rotating the pole I'm using on my Yagi antenna. So I've taken whatever that 1 watt is, or a quarter of a watt that he's putting out, and turned it into a few milliwatts.
So then we don't need an attenuator.
Oh, I wouldn't say that,
Until
you get close.
Yeah.
But if you're far enough away and you go like this, I can cut the signal strength that I'm receiving by 30 dB. So if I'm getting like 0.1 watts, I just moved that decimal place 3 more places to the left. Does that make sense?
It does.
And the other option, and I think that he had it up there earlier, right, is that whole change which harmonic frequency you're listening to. So if you're on the center frequency, well, there's no attenuation, you're getting the full thing. Well, if I drop down to the 3rd harmonic, it's about a 6 dB attenuation between your principal frequency and your 3rd harmonic. So you can create 6 more dB of attenuation just by listening to one of the harmonics of that frequency. So there are ways to, if you don't have the money to buy a cool attenuator, to create attenuation just by using basic electrical theory.
Well, you can use your body as attenuator. And also, he was standing beside a van with a Yagi. The van's an attenuator stopping. He's seeing this direction. So, but you didn't mention that in the video.
They also pulled their antennas off completely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And used a ballpoint pen. Yes. I've never tried that. And the last fox hunt we did, everybody had Yagi antennas and they were way over on a hill. But someone with just a bow fang, holding it like this and doing this sort of thing and listening to the signal, actually found the thing quite a ways away. That wasn't you, was it? Oh, it was you. Okay. And then you did take the antenna off at some point,
I
didn't
took
you?
the antenna off on one of them.
Yeah, but you took the antenna off and you actually found it?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you took? Okay. Well, no, that was yours. We had the Winterfield day we did. So, but you found it. Yeah. And it wasn't exactly hidden. It was just sitting in a ravine next to a tree. But it does get pretty confusing. So what else do you what other use for this, besides just trying to find the transmitter? What other reasons would we do this and use the antenna?
Someone passed out with their butt on the PTT.
Or buying the shack.
Yeah, that's true. In fact, we had a situation like that with someone down south that was transmitting on our repeater. And it was about every 2 minutes, wasn't it? Something like that. And so we went out, a bunch of us, and we started looking, and you could hear it all over Parker without any problem at all. And we finally ended up down in Pradera. And
bouncing off the walls right down Parker Road.
Yeah.
It kept going back and forth.
Yeah.
Bouncing.
It was crazy, but finally found it. And everybody was just kind of like moving in their cars that direction. And finally, we had some guys out. Were they from Arnhem, or where were they from?
No, it was, I forget his name, but he's with Boulder SWAT.
Okay.
He's a hand, he went up to the house.
Yeah, knocked on the door. They had a little bit better equipment. I had this Yagi that I made out of PVC, and the wires, every time I got out of the car, they bend, and have to bend them back. And it was a 7-element Yagi. I mean, it worked good enough. And just before they found it and went up and knocked on the door, I had the right direction from where I was. So the stuff does work. But what other reason would you want to have one of these things? What other use?
I'll to you real quick. I was actually Foxhunting one time because my autistic godson likes to press buttons. And he found his way into my shack and started playing with my radio. John, somebody's on your radio. So I put a key lock on my door.
Oh,
but anyway, I got Foxhunting myself because, yeah, my godson decided to play with my radio.
So what other important reason would you use this Yagi antenna?
RFI.
Yeah, RFI. Trying to locate all that noise in your neighborhood, like maybe a bad transformer, bad switch, grow lights, any number of things like that.
So if you wanted to practice this before the official fox hunt, what would you do? Just grab another bowfang, set up a frequency, and just throw it into the woods and look for it?
Well, you got to have it identifying, the station identifying. That particular one I have, as well as that one we were showing up here. Too bad this isn't a touch screen. I could just go. Had an Arduino that had some software that was available on the internet. And although their connection to the Baofeng didn't work properly, it didn't key the Baofeng like it was supposed to. I had to basically set it up so that it was Vox. So if you were to talk next to that thing right there when it was on, it would start transmitting. But that's what you would do. I mean, it's available out there. There's some outfit, I don't know, some club somewhere, I think in Montana or some Oregon or something, that has the circuit. If you just do a search on either YouTube or on Google or DuckDuckGo or whatever, you'll find them. They're all over the place. Now Scott has a little different one. He's got a Baofeng with a tiny board on the back, which does essentially what my box does. Although the transmission signal is pretty high, it needs an attenuation. And we were going to use that and do 2 of them out at field day or was it Winter Field Day? No, it was the cookout, barbecue, I think is when we did it. And, or chili cook-off, that's what it was. And, but it just kept, if you tried to put it inside a box or something like that, it would just turn itself off. There was just too much RFI, or RF coming from the radio. So, any other uses anybody can think of?
I'll just make a comment. If you want to email us, if enough people want to get together on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon or whatever, we're happy to try to work that in the schedule.
Yeah.
That's fine too. I mean, it may not be a whole day deal, but Randy loves to go out and hide the fox.
I'd love to win one of those Baofeng handhelds.
Right.
I think the Pikes Peak Radio Amateur guys do a fox hunt or they were doing a fox hunt about every month.
and they would send out an email that said, hey, we're going to do a fox hunt. And we're talking a large area fox hunt. We're over the space of like 7 or 8 miles. So you're not just going to find it really quick. You're going to be driving for a bit. It's a couple hours of hunting in order to find it. They would go out and set up their foxes. And they
Sounds
set up
like
a
fun.
high power one and then one that was like 500 milliwatts or something.
I kind of like to do spur of the moment ones, but then nobody shows up, so. But no, and we will be doing, we'll be doing 1, maybe 2 fox hunts at field day. And yes, there is a radio if you find the fox first. And,
Bowfang.
well, yeah, but it's not just any bowfang. These are waterproof bowfangs. Yeah, go ahead, Tom.
So, possible Elmer project, an attenuator would be a fun little kit project that I'd be interested in, because I've got the Yagi. I have my tape measure Yagi. I'd love to get a circuit in a box and some,
What do you think,
some
Jerry?
help with the circuit.
I think it's a good idea. I think the danger in some of these electronic attenuators is people accidentally press PTT, and that fries those attenuators. So you have to be very careful for some of those attenuator kits. But we could explore it.
Yeah, something simple, doesn't have to be fancy thing.
Yeah, I mean, if we don't blow things up in this hobby, I mean, you know, it's just not the hobby. It should be. Yeah, Paul.
I'm just going to make a comment that's kind of completely 180 degrees from this, but I was on a fox hunt one time. There's about 20 people, and 2 people that were hunting the fox, their battery died on their HT because they didn't charge it the night before, and they didn't have a backup battery. So just FYI, right? Before you come out to these events, make sure you charge your battery and have a second battery in case you know, one of them fails or you deplete it.
Or follow camera.
Yeah, jerk transmitting.
Right.
I'll lead you all over the place. We'll get a good workout.
Maybe
We
it
used
should
to
be.
do that for a living.
Yeah,
I did.
it's wherever Cameron doesn't go.
Exactly. Go the opposite direction.
Sorry, Cameron. I
It's
can't
okay. It's a
help
good thing I'm a
it.
good sport.
You got the early retirement deal, didn't you?
No, they were going to kick me out because I've been in too long. I left before they could boot me out.
All right, let me go back to the computer. Oh, let's see here. Why doesn't my slideshow work? That's not it.
He's added a page.
Huh?
You added a page.
When did I do that? Okay, we already have. Anybody got any questions? I want to thank you.
Job.
And now this brings up something else. Hamvention. Who's been to Hamvention? Okay, besides me too. If you haven't been to Hamvention, you need to go sometime. Work it into your schedule or whatever. We're leaving tomorrow, or I'm leaving tomorrow. Paul, I don't remember when you're leaving, but some of us are going this year. And it's a great couple days. You don't have to stay all 3 days. And it's worthwhile going. If you want to go to the flea market and find things, that's the greatest thing in the world. You'll find all kinds of stuff. Some of it actually works. But, and here there's a picture of us, I assume. It's working? Yeah, and there's Mike that was in the video.
I know there's oftentimes coupons and specials for Dayton. Do those normally get announced Thursday, like first day of the show, or?
Yeah, HRO will have usually 2 releases on their Dayton special.
Okay.
One may come out Thursday, and then they'll have another one usually on Friday.
Okay.
Usually, whatever price they offer at Dayton, they offer through their stores as well. Not always.
Not always. Okay.
Sometimes the price at Dayton is going to be better, and they're not going to offer it at the stores. But if you're interested in buying something the next few days, you definitely want to at least wait till
Monday,
Thursday or Friday, or right. They usually hold the prices for a few days. But keep in mind, there's a lot of equipment right now that's not in stock anywhere, or they've held stock to take to Dayton. So, you know, if you wait Monday or Tuesday, they may be out of stock, so.
Okay. No, seriously, any other questions? Because I'm done talking.
No, I was just going to add, I had some RFI literally at the bank behind my house. At dusk, it would blow out 20 and 40 meters. And I just went hunting around with my KX3 and just a rubber ducky on the radio, and was able to find a Mercury light, a landscaping light that we kept turning on and off, on and off. And it would blow out the bands from 6 p.m. till the next morning.
That's why I was seeing all those spikes on my radio.
And I went to go talk to them, and within a week or two, they had someone out to come fix it, but I was able to find and say, fix this light, and they did take care of it for me.
Yeah, and Wayne came out to my house. I had this unbelievable noisy RFI at my house, and we pretty much got the direction of it, which was on the power lines behind the house, because we walked 400 feet away from it, it basically went away. So it's a useful tool. And if anybody has any other questions about that, just let us know. And we like to look for things. So, thank you.
What's that? Thanks.
I'm done.
I think it'd be a good time. Can the board all come up front? So, we're not reintroducing the board, but I guess the board wanted to make a presentation tonight. I don't know if Scott's doing it or I'm doing it. Or... Okay, so last year, the board announced that we wanted to do Ham of the Year award. And the first year that we were going to do it for was for 2022. And how many people have nominated someone? You had the opportunity to nominate someone? Gary? Okay. So we're going to be doing this every year. And we had several nominations, and I will tell you, all fantastic club members. And when we got to the point, while we were eating our Mexican dinner at the board meeting, because we don't always get a lot done, but we brought this up, and the names came out, and we were talking about it, and it was difficult. It was difficult because, you know, anyone probably could have won this award, but only one person did. So, except the board members. Except the board members, we're not eligible. Nor the chairman, our non-voting chairman, he's not eligible either. Okay, so we'd like to announce the Parker Radio Association. Wait, that's not who I voted. This is the first Parker Radio Association Member of the Year Award, and this one's for 2022. And the winner is N0KKY. There's a lot we can say about Stan. It's all pretty much good. But we appreciate, Stan, everything you do for the club. We appreciate you're always willing for us to come out and participate at your ranch, you and your wife's lovely ranch, for Winter Field Day, and so many other things. You're a huge part of the club, and we're very, very honored to present this to you.
And I don't think Stan has missed an opportunity for an outing or a deployment or whatever. He's always been there.
Forward just a little bit. There we go. Thank you. So if you want to win next year, buy a ranch.
Oh, and invite us.
Yeah. So thank you, Stan. Scott.
All right. So we're going to go over current topics, community reports, happenings, and I'm sorry it's not up there, but the system keeps crashing when we try to display it there. So the first one we've got is PRA participation in Parker Days. I'll take it over until Randy gets up off the floor here. We've got a pretty full slate for Friday night, June 9th. Saturday is all day into the evening, and that one we're pretty full on all of those as well. Sunday is starts about 10 in the morning and it runs until about, what time's that one end, Randy? Do you remember for Sunday? Is it 8:30, something like that? 8:30. Okay. So with that, we definitely need some help later on Sunday. So please check your schedules. Are we able to get an internet sign up here tonight? Okay. What we will do, I'll have Jeff take this back here in just a minute. We'll log into the system, and if you would like to sign up with the Sign Up Genius tonight, we can facilitate that and get you onto our matrix there. So that's the help we need. If you are available on Friday or Saturday, we'll have you come on out, and you can help us out. There will be time and places we can have you give relief to folks or whatever, so we can definitely use you. The next element of that is going to be a small 20-30 minute training session. Show of hands here, who has signed up? Okay, great. With that, I'm going to poll the audience, and I can do it one of two ways. We could meet a little early before an Elmer night or a face-to-face night, or stay a little late and go over it. Again, it's going to take about 20 minutes at the most to get through this. Or I can do a Zoom meeting if you would prefer. So a show of hands to do it face-to-face. Who would prefer face-to-face? Got a couple. Who would prefer a Zoom type phone call? Ooh, man, we're about split there, 50-50. All right, we'll see what we can work out here. Again, we'll go over the training. There is going to be a Parker Days t-shirt. The organizer of that event is a fellow named Dean. Didn't sound right. Dean he's got Parker Days shirts for different elements of his staff that are helping him. We ponied with them since they already had the logo going. They're going to put our logo as well on the shirt. So it will be a PRA Parker Days limited edition t-shirt for you folks that are helping us out. With that, kind of an overview of what it is, because there's some new faces in here, maybe you haven't heard of it or what it is. Parker Days is a community event held right down here, mostly in O'Brien Park. In downtown Parker is the bulk of it. There is a carnival that way up on the hill by the church. We are not part of the carnival side of it. We are going to be dealing with O'Brien Park only. If we get some extra people, we may staff. There's going to be a veteran memorial or military memorial beer garden over here as well. When I say over here, it's in this vacant parking lot kind of by Pace Center. With that, our responsibility is we're going to be at these entrances or exits for the event. It is a beer garden event, and if people want to walk out with beer, we're just to ask them, hey, please don't exit with the beer. You need to stay inside the fence. And it ends with that. We don't have to enforce or control or do anything with it. It's just simply a verbal deal. The bigger part of what we're going to do is if somebody needs help with directions, they've lost something, they've found something, the little kid is lost or the little kid is found, that's what we're going to be there for. Or maybe it may be a medical emergency that it's hot. It's been really hot some days. It's been cool. Maybe it's a heat related issue, and what you'll do is you'll call into net control. Randy's going to have the trailer set up right next door to Parker PD, and it'll be kind of near downtown is where the police area will be set up. So we'll coordinate back to the trailer to get the help, whether they want uniformed security that's going to be there, come out and deal with it. If it's a medical emergency, then the medical people will come out and deal with it. If it's a minor medical need, then we'll direct them. You can guide these people back towards Parker PD, is where that same trailer and setup that they have will be a medical area over there as well. So that's really the gist of what we're going to do. This is our premier event for PRA to be very visible in public. We used to do pedaling for Parkinson's. They have gone virtual, meaning if you want to participate in raising funds for pedaling for Parkinson's, you sign up online, you go do a ride at your leisure, your choice of place, and you get the support back to pedaling for Parkinson's. There's no more organized event with them for at least this year. This is their first year of doing it that way. We'll see when they reevaluate it. Maybe they'll go back to a in-person kind of real organized ride versus a virtual ride. So anyway, there's Parker Days. Again, check your calendars, get with Jeff here at the end, and we'll have a sign-up deal where we can get you signed up.
So we've got 66 total 4-hour slots is what the club has obligated ourselves to cover. We've got roughly 50 of those 4-hour slots covered. We've got 15 or 16, I can't remember, left over. If you're free that weekend, we've committed to covering all these slots as a club, and we're not there yet. And we're 2 weeks out.
2.5 weeks.
So please, if you can cover even just one 4-hour slot, we as a club have committed to doing this, and we're still short. And time is running short, and we can't double duty, right? I can't cover 2 spots at once. It's not like the people who have signed up can cover extra things. We're stretched. Right. We're done.
The other element to that is this organizer has promised to do a donation back to Parker Radio, a significant donation by us committing to this. So that's the reason we agreed to commit to it and give it a try this year.
Where's the time?
I'm gonna have it on my laptop here at the end of the meeting. Okay. Or it's also in the newsletter that comes out every Sunday in the email.
The blast.
There's a link there. There's 100. We'll get you hooked up if you're interested. But
absolutely,
we really need the help. We got about 15 slots left to cover.
Sir, what was the dates again?
Of June.
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think Friday's covered.
Yes.
I think we have holes in Saturday evening.
I think we have one hole left there.
Is that
one
what it
or
is?
two.
And then
yeah.
Sunday afternoon and evening.
Correct.
And our donation is tied to filling those 66
yes.
slots. So it's really important to the club to get this kind of donation is huge. And it'll go a long way towards maybe our remote base that we're trying to build and other things. So if you can give us some time, 4 hours is what we're asking for. If your schedule is so tight, you can only give us 2 hours, we'll take the 2 hours. We really will. So, and ahead of time, I want to say thank you.
Yes, thanks for everybody that has signed up so far. It's really going to be a fantastic event. Cool. Thanks, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
Next up will be it's Paul with Weekly Nets.
Yeah, just a quick comment. We have a digital net on Monday night at 8 p.m.
Cool. He's got my laptop.
Wayne runs that net for some of his digital buddies. And it's working out real well. We just need more people on the net. I'm going to say they have the digital system working at 80%, maybe 90%, and sometimes 100%. But you can get on with Fusion, D-Star, DMR, or Hotspot. 8 p.m. Monday night. So we just need more heads. And then Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. is our analog net on our VHF system. But you can also link to the net via All-Star node 410460. So you can come in via All-Star hotspot or the VHF repeater But the VHF repeater is also linked to our Elbert County UHF repeater and our North Barker UHF repeater. So might be a little confusing, but you can get in to the net on 3 different repeaters or the All-Star system. And again, the net's going very well. Cameron's been doing net control almost every week. So there is certainly plenty of room for those people who would like to do net control to sign up. We'll provide you with the script and any type of training you want. You go right on our webpage on the event tab, pick whatever date you want on a Thursday evening, click on it, put in your call sign, done deal, and then let us know if you need any assistance.
With that, I'm going to throw this. Wayne on the digital net has been using Ham Live for logging. And on the analog net, we have been using NetLogger. And just a show of hands, who has participated and seen either of those in use? All right. Do you prefer, show of hands, Ham Live? There's one, two, there's a couple. Who prefers the NetLogger? A few more. All right. And some nuances and some differences there real quick. I'm just going to throw this out. We're trying to help the developer on ham.life. I've had some email communications. He's very, very receptive to concepts and ideas. He is not going to make it NetLogger. He does not want to. It's a whole different format. But if there's things you would like to see, let Wayne or I know, and we can see if he can incorporate those, because it is a work in progress and he is very receptive to that. As far as NetLogger, if you guys would like training on either of those systems, they're really easy to use once you get into them a little bit. I'm going to have you send an email to elmer@parkerradio.org, which will go to Jerry and Brad, and we can get it slated in for an Elmer night where we can maybe coexist with something else we've got going on if we want to do it sooner rather than later. So I'll put that out. Cam?
So on the digital net, if you want to play on the digital net but don't want to invest in a digital radio and you have an Android device, you can download an app called DroidStar and you can get into the digital net. I did it 2 Mondays ago. I wasn't able to play yesterday because I had too many other things going on. And from all reports, it seems like it works reasonably well. So that is an option if you want to be able to get on the net but don't have or don't want to have a DMR Fusion, whatever, radio. And then for the analog net, if you want to play but don't have a radio, you're traveling, whatever, Echolink K0PRA TAC-L, and you can get in through that All-Star hotspot and participate in the net. So if you have a call sign, there is no reason if you have an Android phone that you cannot participate in the net regardless of where you're at, as long as you have internet access.
Or an iPhone.
Or an iPhone. I don't know which ones have, which apps have
Echolink is on both.
So.
Yeah, Echolink's on both.
Actually, there's an All-Star app on iPhone also.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this can all be confusing for people that are not using these systems. Okay, if you're a new ham, you've been a ham for a long time, but you haven't been on the digital systems or All-Star or whatever, we are happy to help, but you have to send us an email and ask for help. Say, I need to understand how to do this, and we will point you to the right person that's using one of these phone apps, and they can walk you through it, but you have to ask, and we will be happy. We just don't have enough time in the year to do training at our Elmer night for all of this stuff. But if you come to Elmer night with a question, we will help you, regardless of what's on the schedule.
Yes. Okay, which brings me right into the next one. Jerry, Elmer night, Thursday. What do we got going on?
Let me get up front. So I'm Jerry, call sign AG7U. This Thursday, we'll be back at the library. Starts at 6, goes to 8, and we will be building tape measure Yagi antennas. So mine is folded up for travel. Once they're extended, it's pretty big. And this is going to be for your 2-meter band. We have assembled 25 kits. In exchange for $20, you can get a kit. Your kit will come like this. All good stuff comes in little Ziploc baggies, right? We will bring all the tools. You don't need to bring any tools. Pretty easy to assemble with just some basic hand tools. And yeah, that's really it. We will turn this into this.
Would it help if we brought some tools just to facilitate the borrowing from one to another?
Based on what's happened last time, I think we had enough tools to go around, so the borrowing and the waiting wasn't that big a deal.
All right.
And this one's going to be even easier than last time. We had to build one last time.
And when is that happening again?
That is this Thursday, so 2 days from now. We will be back here, either this room or that room, I forget which. Same time.
Use it to get on the net.
That's right. If you're not already thinking about it or haven't thought about it, it was recommended you use an HT for your fox hunts. Consider getting yourself a BNC adapter, because that's what's going to be on the end of this coax cable is a BNC. So figure out some way to make that work with your HT, whether it's a direct adapter or a little pigtail or something. Just go ahead and think about, how am I going to connect this to my HT?
And those will be completed same night, right?
That's right. You'll walk out of here
All right.
with an antenna. I think we're also going to be playing a little bit of a game. There's a little bit of a safety factor with something like this swinging around in the room full of everybody.
So should we bring Band-Aids?
If you hit somebody, that person has to yell out, "You sank my battleship!" And we will be taking score. We'll see if we have any winners.
Wait. Is
Questions?
hitting the most battleships?
No. Questions?
We're gonna have a swear jar. You put $1 in.
Are safety glasses going to be provided?
They should make it play random.
If there's no questions about the Yagi, is everyone aware of the Cobra Head Challenge? Anyone not aware? Raise your hand if you're not aware of the Cobra Head Challenge. Okay, real quick, the challenge is to build an antenna that operates within any of our privileges and our bands using this Cobra Head, because it looks like a Cobra Head, as your centerpiece. So lots of things you can do with it. That is going to be the topic for next month's Elmer. Everybody brings in their finished products. We're going to let everybody get up and give a minute or two discussion about what they built. We will put it on antenna analyzers, see kind of how well it works, even in this limited environment. There will be some very arbitrary judging, but a winner will be selected, and that winner will receive
A Yaesu, Kenwood, or ICOM handheld, brand new from HRO, with the receipt. So if you already have that handheld, you can take it back down there, exchange it, and get whatever else you want.
So if you would like to participate and have not, come see me. I'll hand you out one of these for free. No charge to participate in this contest. Questions? Thank you.
Quick show of hands. Who here has started this project? Oh, I love it. Yes, I have to. All right, very good. Thanks, Jerry. Yeah, fantastic stuff coming up there. With that, I'm going to go to Wayne, the head Jefe Grand Poobah Fezwear Repeater Committee Chair. You can go wherever you'd like. You're welcome up here.
Sweet. Well, we had a trip up to the mountaintop last week. Yeah, wasn't it? 2 weeks ago. We have 2 repeaters that are sick. The DMR and the D-Star are running less than half of their normal output power. DMR is running 9 watts out of the repeater, 8 watts out of the duplexer.
That's D-Star.
And that's right, yeah, D-Star, and then DMR was,
About 14 watts.
yeah, so well lower than what they're supposed to. So currently Dirk's working on a DMR repeater testing as a swap out for the one that's up on the hill, so we can bring the other one down and put it on a bench, find out what's wrong with it. And the same thing with the D-Star. So that'll be coming soon at here in the near future once we can get plans to, once the testing gets done and we're able to get back up to the hill. But everything else, they are still working, amazingly enough at the low wattage, but they are at 10,000 feet, so it still does reach pretty far. But we're currently working on that, so we will let you guys know once they're flopped out, and we'll send it out in the newsletter. And then once they're permanently fixed, we'll let everybody know too.
Very good, thanks Wayne. And on that repeater site topic, there is probably going to be, last I heard, we're working on this between the board and the repeater committee, a site cleanup. And so there may be a real good opportunity, one, for you to get a site visit up there, but two, to help provide some cleanup effort to the site, which is a commercial repeater site that we are a guest in. It's not our site. And therefore, we get a discounted rent up there for doing this. Anyway, thanks, Wayne. I appreciate it. You got anything else?
No, that should be it.
Okay. Paul, portable ops. What do we got?
I'm not going to go into that, but it's on the schedule. On our events tab, we have a portable ops deployment every month.
We just had Castlewood Canyon last weekend.
Castlewood Canyon, it was fantastic. Everybody made contacts, and so check the event calendar. You'll see all the events posted. June, I believe, is field day.
Yeah, June is field day for portable ops. It's the big one.
And we got at least one more summits on the air.
Yes.
A couple of parks on the air, I believe. And
a Jeep trip.
A Jeep trip. And we'll roll right into fall.
Chili cook-off.
Yep. Winter field day and chili social.
We doing Signal Butte this fall, late
We
summer?
have dropped Signal Butte.
Okay.
We will probably pick that up in another
couple years, someplace.
Another soda summit.
Yeah.
Similar.
Okay.
Yeah, forthcoming. So support via King Soopers and Amazon Smile. Amazon Smile is done. We got our last check was about, Robert, 70?
I think we've got one more.
Oh, one more? Okay.
The way I read it, we got that little payment of $67.
Yeah.
So apparently there may be one more. They're still cleaning up some book.
Okay. But King Soopers, Kroger, is still a viable resource. So if you have family, friends, neighbors, next door folks, whoever, have them pick their charity of choice to be Parker Radio Association. Costs them nothing. When they put their phone number in, when they buy their groceries, we get a kickback, and it is significant.
We got our last payment in April, late April. It was $552.
There you go. Yeah, it's significant.
4 times a year, folks.
Yeah. So anyway, there's that.
A lot of Bowflex.
Yeah.
Not as many I-52As, but.
Right. So the next item is Field Day. Field Day, 1 month away. We will be at Woodland Park, Colorado Campground, is where we're going. There are still, and there will be up to the day of, some first come, first serve campsites. But if you think you need one of those campsites for a RV of some flavor, you're probably going to have to get up there Thursday morning at probably the latest to get one of those. They fill up pretty quick up there this time of year. PRA, we do have I think we've got 6 sites reserved. If you would like to tent camp, there is ample room. We've got plenty of room. You don't have to worry about anything. We can get you set up with a tent. Parking, if you're going to come up late Friday or just Saturday, you may have to park just outside of Colorado Campground because it's limited parking inside. If anybody has a medical need, we'll make arrangements to get you at least dropped off in there and figure out how to deal with that. But campsites are in the upper 20, like 24, 5, 6, 7. So if you want to Google Colorado Campground, take a look at those sites. You'll figure out kind of where we're at. Those site numbers will come out in the blast. Paul was up there a little bit ago, and I believe we chose site number 25?
26, I think,
6.
for our group camping, or group cooking, and for Saturday night dinner, and all of our stations will be around that site. We're running 2A.
Yep, we will be 2A only this year, and it is phone only. There's no digital station. We will have a get on the air station, but it'll simply be either an HT or a small mobile setup. No elaborate setup on that for that part of it. Come up, you can work the go-to station. That's fun because we get campers walking by. What is that? And we get to explain a little bit about our geek world we live in, and get them on the air. And a lot of interest. It's a lot of fun. Paul, what are we having for dinner?
We are having quarter-pound hot dogs, third-pound hamburgers, with all the fixings.
Parker Radio is, we, the board, are going to take care of picking that up and getting it down there. So we will have all the food. If you have something special to drink, make sure you provide your drinks for yourself. We will have a limited supply of some water up there, and that's about it. So bring your favorite drinks. I wish Jeff were here. We would have some Tacoma Bar. So we'll have to have some honor for Tacoma Bar.
Who's got a Tacoma?
Who's got the Tacoma?
If you don't eat meat, we would ask you to bring your own
food
entree for Saturday night.
Yes. Vegetarian. Yeah, your veggie burger. All right. So there is field day. Field day. There is a sign up. Go ahead, Tom.
Okay, I was going to ask if there's a sign up.
There is. In the email blast coming out, or that has come out, you can go back and look at last Sunday's. There is another sign up genius. Thank you, Jeff, for setting that up. And it is more about operating schedule. So each position, our 2 stations, will have 2 operators at a time basically in there. One logging and one working the radio. And you can find a buddy that wants to log for you if you want to work the radio, and you guys can flip-flop, whatever you want to do. We're okay with it as long as that slot is filled and you're making cues for us. They're 1 hour blocks, Jeff?
They're 1 hour blocks. I neglected to set up a radio operator and a logger for each hour, so I'll rectify that.
Okay.
Okay, so the other sign up that we normally do is
closing in 20 minutes.
Generators, batteries,
so
easy ups, all that kind of stuff. We normally have a sign up for that.
Normally, yes, we do. Tom, up here in front, NI0L, Tom is kind of coordinating our power supply
Is 2A battery only?
issue. It is, but you have to charge your batteries not off of shore power.
Right, you can charge up generators?
Prior to getting there, yeah, you can do generator, you can do solar, you can do wind, you can do that type of thing. There are some requirements. We'll have to look a little closer at that and see if we can comply, because you do get some bonus points for doing that. So we'll look into that. As far as batteries, I think we're pretty set with that.
We'll top them off on Saturday.
Yeah, and then generators, I think we're okay on those as well. So that part of it is done. Cam, who is our loaner extraordinaire wrangler here for all of our loaner gear, the radios will be sequestered.
They're already blocked off for like the week starting like the week before, so they are already off limits for field day.
Okay, and because we will be using the 2 station radios, the 7300 and the 991A.
Do you want me to bring up the 710 just in case somebody wants to have an opportunity to take a look at it? No? Okay. Figured I should ask. That way, if somebody wants to look at it, they can.
So with that, the other game rule that we've put into place is you can come up early, play as much radio on whatever radio you want to up through Friday. Saturday morning, it will be our station radios only in the campground. So feel free to belly up to the buffet and grab yourself more than one spot, operate our radios, and get the cues and log for us.
There'll be a fox hunt with shotguns for anyone operating.
Yes.
Tasers.
Yes. So anyway, we got field day coming up. Take a look at the Sign Up Genius for logging some spots and pick as many spots as you want to work.
Tom, to your point, I think we've got canopies, tables, chairs. Okay. I think we're covered on everything.
Normally there's a sign for that.
But as we get closer, if we narrow it down and we need a couple things, we will put it out in the blast over the next couple of weeks and ask for some help.
And like side dishes.
No, that's all covered.
You're doing that.
We're doing side dishes,
alcohol.
Beer is not the only side dish. The only thing I do know that we haven't really discussed, and that's we need at least a couple grills.
Yeah.
Propane grills. So keep that in mind. If you have something that's semi-portable, you can get up there, and we'll get something out in the blast here the next week or so.
Okay, and yes, questions?
Dogs, animals, can we bring pets?
Colorado Campground is pet friendly. They must be on a leash at all times, and you will clean up after your pets. But yeah, they are definitely welcome.
There's usually a number of dogs up there.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Girls will wear them out for you.
Yes. Yes. So I'll put it back to Tom because we don't have your sidekick here, John, for an update on the remote base.
Yeah, so remote base continues to move slowly along. John and I met last month after our face-to-face, and one of the main things that we need to do is find a site, and there is a likely site that still needs to be officially checked out and measured and all that kind of stuff, but I think we're close to that, and I think the conversations we've had seem like that'll be a good deal. So the remote site, it won't be super remote. It'll be on grid. We're not trying to do, an off-grid e-power kind of setup at this point. Just get something running. And I think we've decided on, Club 7300. I think we've got I think it's remote hams that we're going to be using for the software access and things to try to get it for club members so you can dabble in it and get experience in a station, especially those of us who are in HOAs and things like that. So we'll have that going. I did a basic diagram that's a Google Doc that I'll make available at some point. One of the things that we're going to need is we'll probably do a spreadsheet or something attached to this where we start speccing out what we've got, what we want to buy, prices and things. But there's going to be things like we'll probably need a couple of people who are grounding experts to design the ground system. Things like that I don't know how to do. I could look it up in a book. But those kinds of things to add into our schematics. I'll talk with whoever. I don't know, Scott, if that's you as a board contact in terms of.
Yeah, you can use me.
I can make this stuff. This is just a Google Doc that I created, sort of a basic schematic for the main components of the station. But there's stuff, there's question marks like who's gonna build a remote, internet-based, power switching system so we can turn the place on and off remotely and things like that. So we'll probably put out a notification to people who are on the current remote email list who volunteered to be a part of that, and then for some specific kinds of tasks. So I think we're getting close to that.
And also, I'm just going to throw this out. I think it kind of goes hand in hand with what you just said. So the remote base is going to be set up in a pretty much clean RF environment. So that when you guys want to use this remote station for making contacts, it's going to be a good fit for you. You're not going to have to battle an S9 noise floor. The other thing when they set this up is not only is it so you, the users, can get familiar with logging in and using it and working through some hurdles, there's going to be some growing pains there, but it's also the flip side. It's proof of concept that these parts are going to work together, and it's going to take a lot of feedback to make sure that we can improve where we need to improve and let status quo go where it's good enough and it's working fine. So
it's not that complex. It's basically a home base station, 100 watts, probably a 43-foot vertical. It's more than a lot of us can do in our houses, but it's not, it's not an antenna farm and 1,500 watts or anything like that. So yeah.
Right?
If Paul finds, the right thing at the flea market, we might end up with a tower.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. All right, thanks, Tom. And if anybody wants to be a part of that group, get a hold of Tom or John. You can do it at remotebase@parkerradio.org, I believe is what it is. Does that sound right? I think that's it.
I'll have to talk to John if he can forward those to me if he's.
Okay.
I can add you.
We can
add me so
we have that added, so that'll be taken care of.
Scott's got my laptop.
Yes.
Somebody add it.
All right. Website status, Jeff.
Website status is there's an upgrade to our software, PHP, right? Available
all across the system that it's on needs to be updated.
So
the
okay.
OS needs updated.
Let me do the simplified version. We're going to update the software on the system we had for short term. Long term, we're looking at starting over. And I know we've said that before, and the effort fell apart, and everybody kind of disappeared off that mysterious committee. We're starting over. We're going to build a new site. We're going to try to use some outsourced pieces for less of us to have to maintain. We don't have a timeline on that. We just agreed at the last board meeting that was the direction we're going to try to go. So that's the effort underway. If anybody is excited about working on that, that's awesome. But if not, I'm going to do it myself, or I'm sure Wayne loves doing this stuff. I'm not going to volunteer him, but I suspect Wayne and I will be involved in this.
That's a lot of work.
Yes.
So.
And my wife has volunteered because she does websites for nonprofits. So.
Very good. Thank you. All right, I'm going to put it over to Robert. Twofold, shirts in your budget.
Yep. If you were here, if you'd order a shirt, it's sitting over here right now. So don't forget to pick it up. Money in the bank right now is $13,418. We got the money from King Supers, the 552. All the committees are fully funded right now.
Oh, thank you.
We're in good shape for that.
We will be closing in 10 minutes. Please let us know if we can be of assistance as you complete your visit.
So, as most folks know, we order t-shirts twice a year. This was our spring order. I do have some spares. I want to run through and do an inventory of those, and try to figure out some way to get that inventory out to everybody in case you want to order something before the next big order. It's mostly grays and tan short sleeves. I got a few blues, mostly larges and extra larges, but I'll get a good count of that. So if you do want to try to order something, you'll know I've got something in stock. No.
All right, I think that will conclude everything that we've got. Before you scoot out, we need to get the chairs picked up, put back on the racks, and then I think we had 8 tables set up.
And I just wanted to just add, for people that lose their badges or misplace them, you can order new badges now on the website.
Yes, you can through Chad.
Through Chad, right.
And you get them in about 3 days.
Yep.
And you have different options. They're very reasonable in supporting our local member.
You have one for every outfit.
Right. And there's some swag on there too. There's some water bottles, coffee mugs, that type thing you can order up as well. Absolutely. Great. Thanks for showing up, everybody.
Thank you, John.
Hi.
Stop at the website.
Use your tape.